Today, one of Canada's most historic cities plays center stage and hosts some of the world's finest in figure skating. 13 countries are represented and proudly display their colors. Canada leads the way in a sport fueled by artistry. You'll see the deft strokes of Canada's champions, Christy Sargent and Chris Wirtz, China's Zhuai Shen and Hongbo Zhao, and the USA's newly crowned champions, the Hartzels. Spinning off the page is Jennifer Robinson of Canada, facing a trio of determined young American women, Angela Nikodinov, Erin Pearl, Amber Corwin. A veteran also takes the stage, 26-year-old Tatiana Malinina of Uzbekistan. Today, we dance with Canada's best, Shailene Bourne and Victor Kratz. Lingering in the wings, the USA's dance champions, Lange and Chernichov, and preparing for the world's Lefebvre and Brunet of Canada. The ice is his canvas. Here, Elvis Stojko creates his greatest masterpieces. Looking to leave a mark of his own is Japan's Takeshi Honda. And the Chinese men prepare to make history. Colors explode here in Halifax next. CTV Sports, Canada's figure skating network, has come to the beautiful Maritimes for the 1999 ISU Four Continents Figure Skating Championship. Welcome inside the Halifax Metro Center and the inaugural Four Continents Figure Skating Championship. Hi everybody, I'm Rob Falls. Let's begin by telling you exactly what four continents are involved. North and South America, Africa, and Australasia. They are here. It's kind of a mirror competition to the European Championships that they hold each and every year. This kicks off a very busy day on CTV. We will have 6 hours of skating coverage here from Halifax. We'll have the short programs for you this afternoon, the free skates this evening, and in between, Rod Black and Leo Roudens will call the action as the Vancouver Grizzlies host the Houston Rockets. There is big money on the line here in Halifax, Nova Scotia. $517,000, in fact, in U.S. dollars. For the women and men, first prize money, $22,000. Each skater will take home at least $2,200 U.S. For pairs and dance, $33,000 per pair. Second place is $24,750. The big news of the week in Halifax, Nova Scotia revolves around the Canadian stars. Canadian champion Elvis Stojko is here. He's using this event to prepare for the World Championships in Helsinki, Finland next month. But Elvis Stojko will not be competing in the Grand Prix final next week in St. Petersburg, Russia. Elvis feels that two very intense competitions back-to-back could put a strain on his injured groin.
We were hoping that we wouldn't have any problems just because of the situation. It's difficult because you want to compete and you write the agreement at the beginning of the season, but due to injury, you know, I'm risking a lot if I'm going. And it's nice that they understand that. And I had to make the choice, either this one or the other one. This one's better for me at this point, and get set up for Worlds and be there ready to compete healthy.
If you were to compete in St. Petersburg, is your mindset such that you would go all out, bang, bang, two competitions in a row?
Well, what I would like to do is use this as a stepping stone, and then again next week would move up again another level, and then again at Worlds. But, you know, you come back from that competition, you got a week or two to come down still with the leg, and that would hamper a lot of my training setting up for Worlds, and also puts a lot of stress on the leg, especially doing a lot of the quads and triple axles.
So don't worry, Elvis says that he will be going 100% right here in Halifax. The other news is about the Canadian dance champions and bronze medalists from last year's World Championship, Shailene Bourne and Victor Kratz. Shailene is suffering from an injury to her left knee. That has caused her some problems in training, problems she hopes she will not have here in Halifax.
I had a slight problem prior to Nationals where I had a bit of a meniscus tear that I was dealing with, and I tried to only keep it quiet because I didn't want that to be the focus for the fans and for the judges, and it made me more comfortable when I was out there skating. Plus, we had another three competitions to go, so I didn't want to focus on that. But it's changed the way we train or the way we set up our training sessions each day, because we can't overextend our sessions or hurt it even further. So we've been careful with it, but in the last 2 weeks, I think we've found the right way to train with it. It's always there, but you know, we get around it. We still train well, and I think prior to Four Continents, we've trained really well.
The injury to Shailene Bourne might cause them to pass on the Grand Prix final next week in St. Petersburg, Russia. She'll have a doctor look at the left knee, and they will make an announcement on Monday. The original dance is coming up in just a few moments. And the people who will call the action from Halifax, Nova Scotia, from our commentary position. Here's Debbie Wilkes and Barb Underhill.
Thanks, Rob. It's always so exciting to be in on the ground floor at any new event. Here at the Four Continents, we're all trying to figure out, though, just how important the event really is. Barb, fill us in.
Well, I think that everybody's trying to figure out just how important it is, including the skaters. And this event is the equivalent of the European Championships. Now, the Europeans have been going on since the early 1930s. It's a very, very prestigious event, one which the skaters take very seriously. So I think that is what this event will eventually turn into. But I think this year everybody's trying to feel it out.
Now, we're going to be seeing a lot of the Canadian team here. Who else?
Well, from Canada, what they have done to choose this team is basically taking the top three from each event in Canada. However, we will not see David Pelletier and Jamie Soleil. They are off due to injury. David has a back injury, but they have assured us that they will be back for Worlds.
Good. I'm looking forward to that. Now, some criticism here that the United States team has not been sent.
And that's mainly because of the timing of this event. They had their national championships last week. Then to go to this event, straight on to the Grand Prix final, and then the Worlds was just going to be too much. But I think hopefully they will iron out the scheduling so it's a little bit easier next year.
And some of the other federations will be using this event as a qualifier for Worlds.
The Japanese team has decided to make this their qualifier, which really puts a lot of pressure on the Japanese athletes here.
And probably for many of the athletes in the future as well. Now, Rob, I have a big question. Where are you going to be during the event?
Debbie, I will be following the action backstage. We will sit down and talk to Shailene Bourne and Victor Kratz about their preparations for the World Championships in Helsinki, Finland. But up next, here in Halifax, as part of the Four Continents Figure Skating Championships, the original dance. Lefebvre and Brunet, Lange and Chernichov, and Bourne and Kratz. North America will dominate the dance. And of course, from this competition, there are compulsory dances in this event, Tango Romantica and the Blues. This is highlight action from the Blues, Megan Wing and Aaron Lowe. After the first compulsory dance, they were in 7th place, but were able to use the second dance to move up. Chantal Lefebvre and Michelle Brunet found themselves 3rd after the Tango Romantica and also 3rd after the Blues competition. For Lefebvre and Brunet, their main competition is to try to stay ahead of this American team, Lange and Chernichov. Naomi Lange and Peter Chernichov were 2nd after the first compulsory and again 2nd after the Blues number, which led the way for the Canadian team. Shailene Bourne and Victor Kratz solidly number 1 after both compulsory dances. The compulsory dance is complete. Here's how things stand getting ready for the original dance. Shailene Bourne and Victor Kratz in 1st place. The American team with Naomi Lange and Peter Chernichov 2nd. Chantal Lefebvre and Michelle Brunet in 3rd place. The American team of Kegel and Fedukov in 4th, tied with Zhang and Cao of China. And the third Canadian team in this competition, Megan Wing and Aaron Lowe, find themselves in 6th place as they prepare for the original dance. The order of skate this afternoon from the Metro Center in Halifax, Shaylin Bourne and Victor Kratz. Then the Chinese team, followed by Megan Wing and Aaron Lowe. Lange and Chernichov, Suzuki and Hooton and Lefebvre and Brunet. And let's join the women who will be calling the original dance, Barb Underhill and Debbie Wilkes.
Just finishing up the 6-minute warm-up prior to Shaylin Bourne and Victor Kratz. Here is a look at the dance judges. You'll notice there are 4 European judges on the panel. This is the result this year of the judges' exchange. Only 5 countries qualified from the 4 continents to send dance judges. Australia did not have a dance judge, and the judge from China could not attend. So what we have is a judge from the USA, 1 from Canada, 1 from Japan, from the 4 continents.
Canada.
Of course, China's absence meant 4 European judges, the European judges being the majority. Interesting, particularly for our Canadian dance champions, Shaylin Bourne and Victor Kratz. Here is the original dance. This year, the rhythm, the waltz.
The music is Sacrons, carrying over their Irish theme from last year. Is more for them as a stepping stone onto world. You can't help but smile when you watch this dance. It has such a light and happy feeling as you're watching. So romantic, so effortless.
Shaylin Bourne and Victor Kratz. Metro Center, Shaylin Bourne and Victor Kratz getting a good reaction from the audience. We've all come to expect, well, here in Halifax, particularly the old Celtic thing. We all want to see it more and more.
Really, really well. It's so subtle. It's very different than any of the other original dances that we see in the world today. It really stands out. And I think after Canadians, they knew and they felt that they still had a little bit more work to do. And so this competition is a great opportunity where there really isn't much pressure on them to really take it to the next level.
Marks for Shaylin Bourne and Victor Kratz for composition.
Coached by Natalia Dubova.
5-8, 5-6, 5-7, 5-7, 5-7, 5-5.
Again,
Marks
look
for
at the
presentation.
European judges. Some discrepancy. 5-5 from the Czech Republic, but it comes right up to 5.8 and a 5.9 from Canada for presentation for Shailin Bourne and Victor Kratz. And that's number 1 up to this point.
Our next skaters represent China, Lange and Chernichov.
Here are the team from China, Weina Zhang and Xianming Cao.
And they're in a tie for 4th place right now with Debbie Kegel and Oleg Fedukov of the United States.
That placement a bit of a surprise, too. We've never seen this team before internationally.
Very unusual to see a Chinese dance team at any event, let alone to be placed this high.
Now, when I say they haven't competed internationally, I'm talking the World Championships here. They were in NHK in '97, where they finished 12th.
And that's what's so great about this event. It's giving teams an opportunity to get international experience and recognition that they might not get. Oh, and she hit a toe pick and went down, and that is always so shocking to see in ice dance. They have brought into place this season mandatory deductions for stumbles and falls, which were not in place prior to this year. And so they will take a mandatory deduction for that fall.
These deductions all put in place by the ISU after so much controversy following Nagano Olympics in order to help judges judge and for it to appear to the audience as if it is on the up and up. For Weina Zhang and Xianming Cao, the fall always seems, as you said, Barb, so unexpected, particularly in dance.
I think it was her toe there. It looks like she almost got caught in a rut, and it took her blade off the edge and onto the toe pick, and the judges will rate how severe the fall is and how they, oh, there we go again, and how it disrupted the program. They did get up and back into the dance pretty quickly, but it was still a pretty severe fall. I'm going to guess it's about a 0.3 to 0.4 deduction from the technical merit mark.
Most skaters will practice what happens when a disaster strikes like that, so that particularly for pair teams who have to know, are you on your left foot or your right foot? What step are you starting
But
with?
in pair skating, you're used to falling. We're used to knowing how to get back up and get right back into the routine. And in ice dancing, it's so unusual that it's, you know, they're not quite sure sometimes how to pick it up and you know, what point in the music.
Well, that's interesting too, because for dancers, supposedly every step
Marks
of the
for
choreography
Weina
is done
Zhang
to
and
a
Xianming Cao
specific
for
piece
composition.
beat of music. So in a way, that might
Much
help them.
more difficult to get back on time with the music.
4-7, 4-7, 4-5, 4-5, 4-7. Marks for presentation.
Wow, and they got
4-7,
fairly
4-9,
severely hit.
5-0, 4-8, 4-8,
However, they do stand
5-0.
still in the original dance in
Thank
second
you.
behind Bourne and Kratz. Sheng and Tsao
Our next
from
skaters
China.
represent Canada, Megan Wing and Erin Lowe.
You're going to love this. If you follow ballet at all, it is the story of Copelia by Megan Wing and Erin Lowe from Canada. They've adapted this story somewhat.
I just find this to be so expressive. I love to watch Megan's face.
She's the wind-up doll.
And he's the doll maker who brings her to life. Megan and Erin are currently in a tie for 6th place with the Japanese team, and I think that's somewhat of a surprise. I think we all felt they would be much higher in the standings, and hopefully with this dance they will be able to move ahead of the Japanese team.
Technically, what makes this such an interesting dance is because of the character she's playing. When the doll is unwinding, she becomes limp with the upper part of the body, and that's very difficult from a pair standpoint to skate together and to move synchronously.
And difficult too, because she spends much of the time with her head down and her eyes closed, so very difficult.
Charming. Megan Wing and Erin Lowe of Canada. We saw a standing ovation. The crowd loved Copelia by Megan Wing and Erin Lowe.
I think they deserve high marks here for originality and for the presentation, the expression of this dance. I thought was great. The choreographer is Shanti Rashpal, who is well known for her work with the French team Anastina Pesara.
Here's one of the positions you're talking about, Barb, where he shakes her back to life. Here, the head down again, too.
Look at her wonderful extension there, pointed toes.
That would be a twizzle. Step rock? No.
They really have made a huge improvement in their skating this year. I'm sure very disappointing not to be going to the World Championships. They finished 3rd at the Canadian.
Yep. They've been really supported as well by their coach, Elise Hamel.
Marks for Megan Wing and Erin Lowe for composition.
Artistic
5-1,
content like
5-1,
that program.
5-1,
Maybe a career in the show.
5-2, 4-9, 5-0. Marks for presentation. 5-3, 5-2,
And it looks
5-5,
like
5-2,
Megan and
5-4,
Erin
4-7, 5-1.
in the original dance have moved ahead. They are
Thank
now
you.
second behind Bourne and Kratz.
Representing the United States of America, Naomi Lange and Peter Chernichov.
Next competitors skating the waltz for the original dance, the U.S. dance champions, Naomi Lange and Peter Chernichov.
just won the U.S. Nationals last week. Tremendous potential. He has such a wonderful flair and presents her so well on the ice.
Good cover-up for U.S. dance champions Naomi Lange and Peter Chernichov. Has a great amount of ballet training. She has danced with the Grand Rapids Ballet Company in Michigan and uses a lot of that training to accentuate choreography, certainly style and line.
Oh, that he may have covered up this stumble. The judges may not have seen that. She hits a toe pick there, but he catches her. He is right there for her. Their lifts were beautiful, performed with great ease. She has really nice extension and air position. Elizabeth Punchland and Jared Swallow retired, or not retired, but I guess from eligible ranks this year, which opened the door for this team. And they've done fairly well internationally so far.
5-4, 5-5,
Naomi Lange and Peter Chernichov moving ahead of Megan Wing and Aaron Lowe to second place behind Shailene Bourne and Victor Kratz. And let's go downstairs to Rob.
Take a brief intermission to resurface the ice.
As you use this competition to prepare for the World Championships, what then do you want to do in the original dance? What are you trying to do? Smooth out rough edges?
I think basically we want to get even more speed and more expression. I mean, from nationals to now, we have improved a lot in that aspect. And I think we have another 3 weeks. It gives us time, you know, to just get more comfortable with the program, and another time in front of the audience will help it even more.
Does that add to the emotion of this original dance?
Definitely. The more we do it, the better, because it's more mileage and another opportunity to be out there in front of people.
And what did you think the reaction was here in Halifax? Of course, they're a little biased here in Halifax, anything with a bit of a Celtic flair to it.
Lately, the crowd was awesome. I mean, there was a little less people than nationals because there's so many events this year, but even with the amount of people, they were just amazing. Really good.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Next, the Japanese dance champions, Nakako Suzuki, Lefebvre and Brunet. Japan, Suzuki and Hooton. Back the original dance, the waltz, the theme this year. The Japanese champions performing beautifully to music by Johann Strauss and accentuating many of the waltz moves in skating. Elevation in the program, beautiful rotation in the spins, very elegant back position, particularly from Nakako. I think this is a very good rhythm for them as a team. The best dancers to the waltz feel it sort of way down deep in their soul somewhere. That kind of swaying rhythm. Beautiful number. They are now training mates with born in Kratz in Lake Placid, Natalia Dubova, their coach as well as Shea and Vix.
Try the best.
Marks for Nakako, Suzuki, Hooton for composition. 4-9, 4-7,
And here are the marks for
5-0,
composition.
4-8, 4-9,
4-8 to 5-0.
4-8. Marks for presentation.
And presentation marks in the same
5-0,
range.
4-9, 5-2, 5-1, 5-0, 4-8, 4-9.
Rob's backstage with
Thank you.
Megan and Aaron.
Our next skater
This program looks like it gets to be more and more fun each time you do it.
Yeah, it's been great. We've loved doing it all year, and the crowd's been great every time we've gone out, so.
When you come to an event like this, especially a first-time event, the inaugural event, what do you want to do with this event?
It's just another experience for the international judges to see us perform as well as we've done in the past at the international events, and just keep getting our name out there, compete well, and see what happens in the future for us.
This has been such a good program for you. Would you think about keeping this?
As a show program, for sure, yeah.
But next year we have to do different rhythms and stuff, so this would be great to keep as a show program. Thank you.
Here are the Canadian silver medalists, Chantal Lefebvre and Michelle Brunet.
This is a very important dance for this team. They're in a battle with Lange and Chernichov for second place. Lange and Chernichov have opened the door with the stumble and not having a great skate. If they can do this as well as they can, they could move up into second. This is such an uplifting dance. And the crowd feels it as well. They're on their feet.
And you know what I liked about it? In addition to it having that beautiful light and airy elegance of the waltz, it wasn't overdone. The skating did it all. Chantal Lefebvre and Michel Brunet. Getting some extra support from the fans. Michel Brunet.
They're going on to their 4th World Championships this year, obviously in hopes of moving up in the standings. They were 19th at last year's World Championships, and this really has to be the year where they make that move. And I think it's so important for them to get ahead of Lange and Chernichov in order to do that, because Lange and Chernichov have never been to the Worlds. They're not world ranked.
Still, they have that, the patina of U.S. champions, all of which helps a lot.
It's so obvious that they love to skate this dance.
I think both
the vehicles they've chosen for this year are just perfect for them.
And they've had some terrific help from great coaches along the way. Marilyn Simcoe originally.
Would you cut it out? I like
then on to Natalia Dubova, the coach of Born in Kratz. But this year they moved back to Ottawa to Eric Lowe and Marina Zueva.
But I think Marina Zueva has really made such a difference this year. The skating has really come together, so much more precise.
And with the presentation marks, they have moved ahead of the U.S. champions. Lefebvre and Brunet are in second. Here's the look of the field following the original dance. Born in Kratz in first, Lefebvre and Brunet in second. Naomi Lange and Peter Chernichov from the U.S. are third. Megan Wing and Aaron Lowe move into fourth. The Japanese team fifth. China in sixth. The remainder of the field. Here is Rob Falls with Michelle and Chantal.
Well, it looks like a most unusual day. Suits you guys to a T. You seem to like that a lot.
Yeah, it was really fun to skate tonight with all the crowd that just went on with us, and it helped us to go through the program. So.
You guys made the move back to Ottawa. What has the addition of Marina Zueva to your team done for you?
Well, you know, she's a good technician as well as a good choreographer. We have Eric that's worked with us all year too. So, you know, just being home. I think being home and not having to worry about maybe putting some money in front of us because we're home. I mean, it has a lot to do with that. So hopefully down the road, you know, we can win a little bit of money here and, you know, go out, and maybe she'll let us go out and enjoy it too.
How important is this competition before the World Championships?
It sure is important before the World because we've been battled a lot with the American couple this year, so it will be really nice to be in front of them. So we'll skate good freelance tomorrow, and we'll see.